Monica Marvilla from 1E3. So today, I'm gonna share to you all the knowledge I've learned in our subject, Criminal Justice System for this semester. First of all, I want to grab this opportunity to thank our professor, Ma'am Ilani E. Mendoza, for sharing all the knowledge she has. At first, I have no idea what is criminal justice system is. I don't know who implement laws, decide cases, prevent crimes, and rehabilitate the prisoners. These institutions are responsible for preventing crimes, enforcement of laws, and apprehension and prosecution of those who violate the law. The things I've learned in this subject is that criminal justice system is focuses on the 5 pillars: the law enforcement, the prosecution, the court, the correction, and the community. Each pillar have its function and responsibility. The law enforcement designed to detect or solve specific crimes. They are the one who making arrests, interrogating suspects, and searching for evidences and prevent crimes. In prosecution, prosecutors' primary function is to initiate and conduct criminal action. They perform an active role in criminal proceedings. The nature of their job is to balance between social orderliness and human liberty. The court is an institution that the government set up to settle disputes through a legal process. People come to the court to resolve their agreements. The court decide what really happened and what should be done about it. They decide whether a person committed a crime and what punishment should be, while correction provide control, custody, and care to any person convicted of a criminal offense, and ensure that an offender's sentence is carried out, whether it's time in jail or prison, probation, or community service. Community has an apparent role as the 5th pillar in criminal justice system. Community service is a form of punishment intended to benefit the community that been harmed by an offender crime. Most of the times, judge often order offender perform community service instead of other form of punishment, such as incarceration, fines, or probation. Government has 3 branches: the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. Legislative, who are making laws; executive, carries out laws; and judicial, who interpret or evaluate laws. Among the 3 branches of the government, legislative is the most powerful branch. Not only the powers given them by the Constitution, but also the implied powers that Congress has. And the most weakest branch among the 3 is the judicial, or judiciary. Is it because it cannot ensure that its decision enforced? I also learned when we say juridical person, it is an agency, an organization, or corporation, while natural person was a human being. Power of eminent domain, it is the power of the local states or federal government agencies to take private property or public use. The government can exercise power of eminent domain even if the owner not wish to sell his or her property. I learned that when someone is committed a crime, the police cannot take him to custody. There are processes on arresting a person. The general rule is that to make an arrest, the police must obtain an arrest warrant. However, if an arrest is unsupported by probable cause, evidence obtained pursuant to the invalid arrest can be excluded from trial. When an arrest is made, the arresting officer must read the Miranda warnings to the arrestee. There is so-called citizen's arrest. It is an arrest made a private citizen. That is, a person who is not acting as sworn law enforcement official. The law requires that when making a citizen's arrest, the arrested individual must be delivered to a police officer without delay. If you make a citizen's arrest and do not call the police as soon as possible, the arrest may be ruled illegal and you could face civil or criminal consequences. In criminal justice system, police patrol play an important role in public service by responding to incidents, deterring, and preventing crimes. Preliminary investigation is an inquiry or proceeding to determine whether there is sufficient ground, but preliminary investigation is not required to all cases, except for cases of warrantless arrest. Preliminary investigation is required to be conducted before filing of a complaint or information in court for an offense where the penalty prescribed by the law is at least 4 years, 2 months, and 1 day. I never thought that there are treatments programs for prisoners inside the prison. One of those treatments was the prison education, or also known as the cornerstone of rehabilitation. It is a formal training in school or classroom that is intended to shape the mind and attitude of prisoners toward good living upon their release. Not only their physical and mind are treated inside the prison, but also spiritually. There are forms of community-based programs for every prisoners. Prisoner may avail probation if his penalty does not exceed 6 years of imprisonment. This probation is substitute for imprisonment. Parole is a conditional form of release that is granted after prisoner has served a portion of his sentence in a correctional institution. A parolee is supervised by a parole officer, while a probationer is supervised by probation officer. Pardon has 2 kinds, the conditional pardon and the absolute pardon. A conditional pardon is given with requirements attached, while absolute pardon is given without any condition attached. I also learned a lot from our guest lecturer that Ma'am Elali invited. They broadened our knowledge about criminal justice system, and they shared to us the nature of their jobs. One of our guest lecturer said that community was really such a big contribution to criminal justice system. Without the community and the concerned citizens, they will never thought that something must happen in the community. Once again, thank you so much, Ma'am, for giving us knowledge about criminal justice system. Without you, we will not learn about it.